home to beautiful Dartmoor, where I've come today to a place called Chalacombe Farm. I've come here because a couple of reasons. They have some associations with Pixie stories and Pixie folklore about Dartmoor, and also they've opened their meadows to the public at the moment. Meadows are very much, being part of nature and very much connected to the fairies as well, with all the wonderful wildflowers that grow here and plants. The wind's picking up now as I mention the fairies and speak about them. I'm sat on an old hawthorn tree to talk to you. So yes, as I said, there are many pixie stories that are based on Dartmoor in Devon. There are many stories about pixies in Cornwall as well, the next county down, but as I'm from Devon and feel close to Dartmoor because I have ancestral links here and grew up being very close to this place. I'm from Devon, always had a strong connection to Dartmoor, so I'm focusing on the fairy folk, the Pixies. There are many fairy folk here, but the Pixies have the most stories written about them. So I'm focusing on Dartmoor with the book that I'm writing. This is a stunning place. I'm gradually visiting a lot of places that are associated with pixies from these stories. So I do believe in protecting fairy places. I'm writing about the places that are well known to people, that people come and walk in anyway, and have been widely known to be a place of pixies because there are stories based in these places. So Chalacombe, obviously it's made of two words, Chala and Combe. So a combe in Devon, there's an aeroplane, is a valley. It's usually a wooded valley. So there's still remnants of woodland and places here. And pixies are associated with combes, as well as other places like the Tors. And as I'm talking to you, as usual, I can see a little person above me in the tree. And I seem to, as soon as I arrived here today, I'll share some photos. As soon as I arrived here today in the trees in the car park, I could see lots of faces and figures, and it's like I always see this, it's being welcomed. I mean, fairies know, once you connect to them, they know ahead of time where you're going to go. I mean, there's no such thing as time, is there? It's just a made-up concept anyway, and all times are happening at once, and past, future, everything is just all part of the one. But yes, so through consciousness, which is obviously a way that we can just transcend time, pixies and fairies are part of this bigger consciousness, and they know when we're going to be in a place. I was hot. So I was led by my heart, and I found the fairies, the pixies, all the fairy folk of this that I connect with, to have been very comforting and supportive on this journey. So once we start to decide to work with them, they will recognise us as allies, and it's a reciprocal relationship, as with any good friendship we have. Of course, it's difficult to can't really call it a friendship in normal terms, but it's more of a give and take relationship. So there's many times where I felt like all hope was gone, or I've been struggling, and I've received an abundance of amazing signs that have come through to me through friends or through signs in nature that have given me hope. So it's like, well, there's never a void. Old energy leaves, a new energy comes in, and it's knowing how to be in those in-between places and just sitting with it and knowing, well, this is for a reason. There's never a void forever. There's always something it means something new is coming in. This is one of the things I'm talking about in my book about pixies. So obviously I've researched a lot of folklore about pixies, but I'm not really a folklorist per se. I avidly read books about fairies, many books about fairies, and I'm learning about pixies and pixie folklore, and I will be talking about that as a way of intro in my book, so people know who the pixies are and what the traditions have been about them in this part of the world. But I also wanted to, because I'm coming from a more teaching, sort of spiritual, for want of another word, perspective, with my background in life coaching and meditation, I want it to be a book that people can use practically as well, and so that it applies to now, and what lessons we can draw from these stories and the places that the pixies inhabit, like this beautiful place. So I'm very passionate about, even though I wouldn't say I'm a naturalist, I'm always learning about nature. From a well-being perspective, I know obviously it's very good for us to be in nature, but just building that awareness of these beautiful places and how we can work with them, working with the fairies, in this case the pixies, and that can be applied to any part of the world. Of course, you all have fairies in that part of the world that you can work with, that relate to where you come from. Let me know your thoughts about this idea of fairies helping us and reaching out to us in difficult times. I know some of us relate to other beings like angels or unicorns, so whoever it is you connect with, please share in the comments any experiences you've had of this, when you feel that life's challenging, something comes along very soon and gives you some new hope. So I was going to say, just a reminder that I'm doing this talk about being pixie led and trusting the pixies to lead us home as part of the Guardian Beings Tele-Summit that Kim Wilborn is hosting. I encourage you to sign up to that. There's lots of wonderful speakers I can't wait I'm going to be listening into and learning from all the wonderful people. And my talk is on the 8th of July, Tuesday the 8th of July, 8 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Pacific time in the US. So I've created an event for that in the group that you can sign up to just to remind yourself, and the link to the Tele-Summit is in there. So you'll have to sign up to the Tele-Summit, which is free, before you can access listen to my talk. So sending lots of love from me and Dartmoor. Yeah, I'll see you all soon.